I think every business venture is successful if you look at it from that is a positive way to look at it, because if you don't start the business, you're not going to learn.
The one thing I'm confident in is that it's a shitty idea and a shitty implementation. But by doing it, you will learn that quickly, and you will be able to iterate and pivot over time.
If you build a really good product that solves a hard problem and your customers absolutely love it, the money's a byproduct. The money just comes flowing in because you're helping them to get what they want.
We are back with another episode of the Do As I Say, Not As I Do podcast, where every week we answer real questions and often insane questions from Reddit about growing a startup. And today we're joined by Jacob Banks, the CEO and co-founder of Sophiie AI. Sophiie is one of, if not the number one fastest growing AI startup in Australia that hit over $1 million in ARR in less than a year, all with zero funding to date. So I'm super keen to have you on. Jacob is based on the Gold Coast, so we've met a few times, and he was just fucking awesome every single time. So super psyched to have you, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Joel.
So I've been doing this at the beginning of my podcast now because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a bunch of words or phrases, and I just want you to respond with a one-word answer, the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right. One word might be hard for me, but
we'll give it a go. All right. First word, funding.
Hard.
Sure.
But easier than I thought.
Okay.
It's still hard, but easier than I thought. So it's one word, but it's...
Co-founders.
Challenging.
Yeah. Adam Newman.
It's a good question. I don't know, because he's I don't know. I mean, he's impressive.
Yeah.
But he's also sharky.
Yeah.
But he's also a weapon. But he's kind of polarizing.
Yeah.
Polarizing.
Good. Yeah, polarizing.
Yeah, polarizing.
I mean, he's got to be the greatest salesperson in history, for sure.
I think Trump beats him.
True. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. AI.
Explosive.
Sales versus product.
Both.
Ooh. Greatness.
Different for every person. Greatness is different for every person, but that's great. Different.
Success.
Subjective.
Beers at the office.
Occasionally.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get a vibe from you.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker. Yeah. I don't drink too often, but when I drink, I drink.
Yeah.
So I'll go 3 or 4 weeks without a drink, but then I'll have 15.
Yeah.
I'm like 0 or 100 on everything. And all my friends are always like that. It's like I'm either in 120% or I'm out 120%.
I love it. Australia's startup scene.
Growing.
You're more positive than I am. Do founders need to have a chip on their shoulder to be successful?
No.
Really?
The short answer is no, but I do, and some people do, and it does feel a lot, for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, I do that just for fun for me. I have no idea if the audience likes it, but I love it. So, all right, let's jump into the Reddit questions today.
All right.
When starting your first startup, how do you have the confidence that it will succeed? I'm currently building a product in the agri-tech space, or smart farming, and it's built around bringing agriculture to the masses, blah, 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 blah. My product is focused mostly around design and aesthetics, as my goal is to make agriculture feel as though it fits within a home, make it feel like furniture as opposed to just some quirky tech product. The thing is, as a 20-year-old visionary, I just don't know if it will succeed. The risk is always there, and when it comes to fundraising, it helps to mitigate the risk. But still, how do you go into something blind and have the confidence to pull through to the other side successfully? This is from Otherwise16154.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think every business venture is successful if you look at it from that is a positive way to look at it, because if you don't start the business, you're not going to learn. If you do start the business and it fails, well, then you've learned so much, and it costs you money to learn. And once you learn that mistake, you'll be a better person for it. So when people come to me, they're like, but how do you, this is your third business, how do you start a business? And I'm like, you just do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to learn along the way. And the only way that you fail is when you give up. If you keep pivoting and pivoting and pivoting, you can never fail, really. It's the only way you can fail is by giving up. And like I said, it does cost you money to learn. So I would just say go for it. And it's realistically, you'll be a success either way. And that's a positive way to look at it. But genuinely, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, my thoughts are when you first start out, whatever your business is, I think, especially if it's your first business, the one thing I'm confident in is that it's a shitty idea and a shitty implementation. But by doing it, you will learn that like quickly, and you will be able to iterate and pivot over time. So I wouldn't get so locked in, or like focused on whatever that first iteration is, because that first iteration is
always
guaranteed
changes.
shitty and wrong. Like
yeah.
I'm like 8 years into my business, and I'm still like, oh, why do we do it like that? Like it's constantly changing and constantly evolving. So I just think like just commit to like knowing that you're not always right. So it is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing that comes to mind is that I feel like I go through phases of feeling imposter syndrome, which it sounds like what this guy's feeling like. Is it going to be successful? Am I like smart enough to bring it to the world? And the answer is like, if you just have like the courage to have a go, then you have a good shot, right? Like you've got a better shot than not having a go.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
A million. So
yeah,
I feel like for me, imposter syndrome is like a cycle. Like I'll be like really confident in something that I'm doing, and so then I stretch to do something bigger or better or different, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not the right person to do this, and then I get more confident and I grow and I learn, and then once I'm confident again, I stretch again. So like it's a cycle of confidence into imposter.
Yeah, no, I have to tend to agree. So many people when they're starting a business is they get so focused on like, is it going to work? And they get deep into like trying to figure out that rather than actually just giving it a go. And they never get to actually starting it because they end up talking themselves out of it. Or like I said, every business I've ever done, and I'm not going to say this is the right way to do it, is I've just gone, as I said before, 120% into it and just learned as I've gone. Yes, you've got to have a good idea. You've got to have a good kind of product and a way to make money. But at the end of the day, if you're in there and doing it every single day and just iterating and constantly changing, like I said earlier, like you've got no choice but to be successful in one way or another, whether it's taking learnings or growing the business. Either way, you're going to get something more positive out of it if you didn't start.
Yeah, I think aggressively just fucking having a crack is it's just so worth it. And even if the business does completely fail, like you're right, it's a win to some extent, right?
Yeah, like for sure.
None of your friends would have done that shit. Like no one would have had a go. And then at the end of that, this kind of business model sucks, or no one wants this, or like I need to find a problem first, and then you're better set up. Whether you want to go into another business to start it or to work somewhere else, right? You're smarter, and I think like
more equipped for the next one.
Yeah,
I mean, if there is a next one,
there must be some kind of metric, which is like if you do a startup, you grow at like 2 times the rate of someone who's in a career job, or 3 times or 5 times the rate or something like that. Like there's got to be something like that. So your rate of learning a startup is fucking insane.
Completely. The amount of stuff that I've learned the last 12 months, and I'm not saying that I know everything, but I've had another startup and was bootstrapped for 10 years and like built a team, and just the amount, but you take that from your last business, but the amount of new stuff that I've learned even in this business has been wild. And you just wouldn't get that at university or at a job. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, I guess for otherwise, I feel like the way I'd break it down then is that you don't have to be worried that it's going to be successful or not. Like, because the chances are that like this iteration of your business isn't going to be successful. It's that working of a different lens more than anything, which is like, do you have enough confidence to go to the next step? I guess that's what I do really, is like with my first business, I just went fucking hell for leather and ran out of it forever. Now when I'm thinking about new businesses, I'm just like, do I have the confidence to do this kind of test? And then when I've done that test, do I have the confidence to go to the next level and the next level, or pivot and the next level, pivot and the next level? So I kind of just break it down, and I don't think so binary anymore of 0 to a million. It's like, what's 0 to, idea to MVP phase of like, or customer conversations or whatever it is, and just validate as I go.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you got to have a little bit of validation, but you're right. Like, I see it all the time. People going, they're like stealth mode for 18 months.
Oh, that's fucking
wild,
hate that, dude. Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know if people are going to buy this. Yeah. Like, just get, what is the core thing that you're trying to solve? Go out the most basic version of that, and then chat to customers and get their feedback and be very customer led.
Yeah.
Whereas I see it all the time. People it's not ready to be released yet. And I'm like, might never be released at this rate.
I guess with that in mind, I'd maybe go back and disagree with what you first said and maybe reframe it a little bit.
Okay.
You're not definitely going to be successful. But I think if you take the right approach, you're definitely going to be successful. So the approach you just spoke about is really important, right? Like you're out there, desperate to speak to customers and get this feedback. And that will take you on the right journey. Okay. If you
Yes.
listen to them and you build with them in mind, that you will keep pivoting in the right direction.
Yeah.
But if you just think like, this is my fucking idea no matter what, and I'm not listening, I'm not learning, then will you succeed? Like, yeah, like maybe you're Steve Jobs, but you're probably not.
Yeah. No, but even Steve Jobs listened to his customers.
Yeah, true.
So like obviously you have to, but yeah, I agree. Like obviously you're not gonna. There's no option but to succeed. But what I meant by that is like, even if you learn something, that's a success for me anyway. Yeah. But yeah, you've got to be ready to pivot at any moment.
Yeah.
Because if your customers are telling you one thing and you're pulling in a different direction, without customers, you don't have a business.
Yeah.
So it's important to listen to your customers for sure.
One of my old mentors told me this expression, which is no money, no mission. And I love that. Like, this very altruistic mission or, view of where you want to go in the future. But if you can't get customers to pay on the way, then you're fucked. So
yeah. And the other thing is, well, when I was really young, I started a business because I wanted to make money. Because I wanted to be rich. I was like, I'm going to start a business to be rich. And I remember I was 24 years of age. I was sitting at this conference or 23, 24, and this guy goes, if you're in it for the money, you're going to fail. And I remember thinking, yeah, whatever, man. Like some old dude, like whatever. Now I 100% agree with him. Like if you build a really good product that solves a hard problem and your customers absolutely love it, the money's a byproduct. The money just comes flowing in because you're helping them to get what they want. So I think that's super important as well. Like stop focusing on the money and focus on the problem and solving a problem that your customers are happy to pay for. You'll get low churn and you'll get really fast growth.
I want to push on that a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've had this chat recently.
Yeah.
And I used to think you've got to have this mission, right? Like you have to be super passionate, have this mission about the problem that you're solving. Yeah. But I don't think that's true anymore. I think you have to have a passion and a drive. But I think money can be that drive for people. Someone might want to just get fucking rich. And if that gets them up out of bed and they're willing to do 16-hour days and eat shit, then like it doesn't fucking matter. Right? They need to be customer centric. They can't just rip money off people. But think about like gambling companies, right? They're not just like, I want to fucking get up and make this person's day. They're just like, they're building a great business where customers fucking love their product enough to come back non-stop, but they don't have some altruistic thing. So I guess I'd say, I don't think you need an altruistic mission, but you need to have a passion about what you're doing. And the mission in your life could be, I want to be rich someday. And I don't care if I'm fucking doing banking transactions or I'm like helping people get education.
Like I'm obsessed with creating the world's best AR office manager.
Yeah.
Number one, because it's a big challenge, and I'm like, it's a massive challenge, so like that excites me, and that's what I'm passionate about. It's more about the challenge. It's not the actual what it does, and then also solving that problem for your customers, and that drives me as well. And then off the back of that, the money will come. Like
I'm not saying you can't have a mission, so I'm just saying I don't think you have to have. I think money can be a mission. I think someone wanting to be rich. I guess I've just seen a bunch of people with successful businesses that don't seem like they have this altruistic vision of the world. Like they want to make money and they've just like found a wedge where they're like, I just sell credit cards and I fucking sold 1 million of them and now,
Yeah, but if you focus on the money and only the money, and you're not focusing on your customers will leave because they're not happy.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to focus on customers. I think you have to be customer centric. But I think your personal driving mission can be money. We can also just disagree on it, right? Like we can land on different sides of the question. Like I think no matter what, customer-centric.
I've very rarely. I'm sitting in the middle. If you have to be you have to have a great idea. You have to have a great product. You have to be solving a problem, and not just like an actual cure, not a vitamin.
Yeah.
And you've also got to be customer centric. But yes, money can be a driver, of course. Obviously, it's a driver for me, but it's not the only driver like it was when I was 23.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it now, which I've evolved and changed over the years of being punched in the face a million times by, not literally punched in the face, but like by making mistakes, chasing money rather than actually thinking about the business and what's best for the business, what's best for the customer.
I think if all you do is chase money, you will make worse decisions for your business. Definitely, you need to chase value for your customers. Yeah, but I think you can chase value for your customers because you want to make money.
Yes.
As long as you put the customers first and you know that is the byproduct. But,
correct.
Okay, Matt. Well, if I try and bring this all the way back to otherwise and his original question, how do you have the confidence that it's going to succeed? I guess for me, I have the confidence not that this specific idea is going to will be successful, but I have the confidence personally that I will keep making the right decisions to pivot the business to the right idea, to the right success point as we go forward. So I'm confident that success will come if I'm flexible with the idea, because I don't get so locked in and do 18 months in stealth. I'm just like,
For sure.
get it out there in the world. And the other kind of point here is like, depends how you measure success. If you do a startup, you're just going to learn a fuckload so much faster than any of your friends. So like that in itself is wildly successful. And even if this first business shuts down, you're so well set up for what you do in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's pretty much literally what I would say.
Perfect. Well, otherwise, you've been advised. And we'll move on to the next question. So,
is that what you've been advised?
Yeah, it's just like a made-up word.
Okay.
My wife hates it. She's always just like, you can't say that. It's so embarrassing. You're like, all your guests are going to think you're an idiot. But I was just like, I think it's
You've been
a funny
advised.
way to
Okay, yeah.
close out a question.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're the first guest to ever comment on it.
No, it's good. It's good. It's just like a little.
Good, yeah.
No, I mean what I mean by that is like it's like a little tagline which people remember.
Maybe I should change the name of the podcast that you've been advised. So people, you've got my email address, audience, do as I say is whatever you call yourself. Hit me up. Tell me if this should be called You've Been Advised.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Almighty. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll say it's memorable.
Yeah, it's memorable. It's not good, but you're memorable.
No, I don't mind it. It's just it's memorable, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's memorable, it's good.
Okay, mad. All right, well, let's jump into the second challenge. Is being a solo founder worse or better than having a co-founder who is not the right fit? What are the pros and cons of each of these situations? What things should one be careful of in each of these cases? And this is by overall title.
Say the first part of the question again, sorry.
Is being a solo founder worse or better than having a co-founder who is not the right fit? So would you rather be a solo founder or have a shitty co-founder?
Well, co-founders are really hard because you're never going to a business where you're thinking your co-founder's average.
Yeah.
So, and you only find out halfway through and you're like, oh, I've made the wrong mistake. And then it's really hard. And then I would choose to be a solo founder.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you don't know at the time. Like hindsight, definitely I'd rather be a solo founder than have an average co-founder. But
so say if it's your day one, right?
Yeah.
And you're there and you're psyched on this idea, and there's another co-founder that you can decide on whether or not to start with them, but they're not the right fit. You're like, it's going to come.
Oh, then definitely not. Yeah. Do not. Co-founders are like a relation, like a marriage.
Yeah.
You've got to communicate. If you get upset by each other, you've got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like it fully is like a relationship in a way.
Yeah.
And I learned that later on. Like in my new co-founder, Luke, me and him have really good. We've only been in it for 12 months, but we have a really good relationship where we talk to each other. We listen to each other's ideas. We don't try to like beat each other on like, no, this idea is better or that's idea. Let's try them both, or let's give it a go. Like stifling people's ideas, especially co-founders, just makes them resent you or like even worse, like leave with equity sometimes. If you have a feeling that they might not be the right co-founder, then I wouldn't go into business with them. But sometimes you don't know. Yeah. And sometimes, like, there's been times where you think, well, this is perfect, but it turns out to be terrible. And then other times you're like, this is perfect, and it does turn out great. So it's a hard one.
Yeah, co-founder is like a really hard relationship. Like it's a relationship that I think takes work, and I think it takes taken for granted. And I read some crazy statistic, and I think everyone pretty much knows this, but I think it's something like 90% of startups fail because of like founders splitting up or disagreements and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like I would almost never start a business with someone that I had reservations with from day one. Like it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you might be put in a situation where it is still the best thing to do, and going in with reservations. So if I had to, I'll come back to what I would do. But just don't do it, right? Like find the right co-founder. If you've got the time, and the space, like spend a bit more time finding the right person. I think also, is solo better or a shitty co-founder? Like a shitty co-founder is always the worst option. Like I would way rather be a solo founder, but also I would hate to be a solo founder, right? Like that's just having a great co-founder, then solo founder, then shitty Like that's the way it brings. So I would try and find a good co-founder. But some people love solo founding businesses. Like I've got a friend who's like solo founded 3 or 4 businesses. They're all worth $1 billion. It's like that guy's just fucking don't fuck with his recipe. So I can't do it, because on the shit days I need them to lift me up, and I want to lift them up on their shit days. You bring different values to the equation.
Yeah.
But I'll put this question to you. I mean, if you have to start with someone you have questions about, here's the things I would do. I would put really clear vesting in place. So what I think a lot of people don't realize is that you can use vesting to your advantage. And when you come in, vesting is to protect the business. It's not to protect you, it's to protect the business. So come in, put all your equity, if it's 50-50 or 70-30 or 90-10 or a 99-1, doesn't matter. Put everyone's equity on vesting where there's a 1-year cliff. Because in a year, you're gonna know if it's like a really bad fit. Sometimes it doesn't come out for a few years, right? But that's because you change over time, and your co-founder change over time. So if you have to go into that situation, just use vesting and remember that you can get rid of them up until 12 months and then you get all their equity back.
But what? So that's I mean, it's great in theory, but what about like in 12 months' time, like you both hate each other and you both still want to continue the business? Who goes and who stays? How do you work that out?
Yeah, set the board up in your favor.
Yeah. So, but that means you're the founder then.
Yeah, that's
realistically.
True. Yeah.
If you're going into as co-founders where it's equal or whatever, it depends. Everyone's different. But I do have this current business, both the 2 other co-founders are vested because it was mostly my idea.
Yeah.
And they've kind of added their bits to it and they've got really passionate about it, but they're on vesting because of exactly that, to make sure. The good thing is all of us have worked together in some capacity before. So Luke used to work for me at my other business and he was a gun.
Yeah. So
I knew that. And then he left and started his own business. And then he was working with our other co-founder. So we kind of all knew each other. So it was a bit easier and we've worked together. But yeah, they're on vesting because of exactly that.
Yeah.
But both of them will easily hit it.
Yeah. So I guess if I was in the position day one, I've got reservations about someone, something just feels a little bit off, just don't do it. Right? That's not worth it. If you're starting a business and you don't really know each other and you're just getting into it, and you're just getting started and it's exciting and everything kind of seems good, use vesting to protect yourself in that scenario. Because I think sometimes people haven't had the chance to work with someone in the past. I've worked with my co-founder in the past with a different business, right? So if we're going to do a business again, we do it together, we know what it's like. So it's kind of like saving yourself. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to do a business with someone that's a bad fit for you because your life will fucking suck and you'll hate them and you'll hate your life. You spend way more than 9 to 5 with them. You fucking ringing each other in the middle of the night, or, you first thing you do in the morning is you see each other, then you spend all fucking day together, and then you have dinner and you spend all night together working on this, and you go home and you sleep and you dream about each other. It's fucking nonstop, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the other thing is, what I would say from my learnings is have everything written down on paper of how everything's meant to happen when it comes to vesting or shareholder agreements, company constitutions, because then there's no arguments.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what we've agreed to from day one. That's what we're sticking to. And no one can argue then.
That's a good point. Someone said that they gave this advice at a talk I went to the other day. And they said, have your shareholders agreement, your constitution, all that shit. They said, have another document where you agree to all the non-legal stuff. How do you expect this to happen? And write all of that shit down. If you guys get in a fight and you want to split the company, how will you decide that? Who's going to be an impartial third party to help you work that out? Write it all down from day one, so it doesn't, when you fucking hate each other or not, it's not a question.
Yeah.
And I really like that advice.
It's also crazy though. That's the other thing. It's crazy how money can change people.
Yeah.
When you've got no money, when there's the business is doing nothing, it's all best buddies. But when there's money involved,
equal equity, who cares?
And someone could screw you for $1 million or $2 million bucks. It's crazy what people do.
Yeah,
I don't have that in my bone, in my body.
Yeah.
That's not me. But some people, I'm just don't know where that comes from. But it's crazy what money money does to people.
Greed, man.
Greed, yeah. It's
Greed
real.
And fear, hey.
Yeah, it's definitely
when someone feels like they're going to get screwed, they will go and screw someone else straight away because they don't want it to happen to them.
Yeah.
Matt, all right. So overall title, should you be a solo founder or have a co-founder who's a wrong fit? Just don't have a founder who's the wrong fit. You don't have to be a solo founder, but just find a different founder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or if you've only got those two choices, be solo.
Yeah, be solo.
Yeah.
At least to start with, you can bring someone else in later.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. And that happens a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Matt, all right. Overall title, you've been advised. That's how the cookie crumbles. All right. Last question. What are your must-have tools and resources for early-stage startups? Starting a new venture can be overwhelming, especially with the plethora of tools and resources available. For those of you who have successfully navigated the early stages of a startup, what tools, software, resources were indispensable to your success? From Grip tonight.
That's a hard question because I think it depends on the startup.
Mm-hmm.
Some tools. I mean, it depends on the startup. Like some tools you can build in-house. If it doesn't take too long, you'll get a huge amount of tech debt. But I'll say for my businesses. So one was an online marketplace, and the other one's a SaaS product, effectively. Customer CRM. Obviously, you have to have a customer CRM that you can manage and see where the pipeline is and what people are doing. They're like must-haves. Yeah, it's a tough question because I'm trying to answer the question in general.
Yeah. For me, I guess it's really simple these days because like some tools just got so good. Like at the beginning, you have to keep it real simple. So all I think you really need to begin with is email and LinkedIn. So it's like, I'll just go Google.
Oh, yeah,
Workspace,
email, obviously. I was trying to think of the...
But then, like, because I just need outreach. But then apart from that, I would just get ChatGPT and like Replit or Lovable. Like something that can like prototype shit out or prototype a website for you. Like, and like, that would just be enough to get started, I think, these days.
Yeah, you don't need a lot.
Yeah.
You don't really need a lot. Again, don't need to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you've got an email, a LinkedIn, and ChatGPT.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah. Like, it's your focus, man. ChatGPT and like, or like Canva and...
Canva's good too. Canva's really good.
They it makes stuff so easy. Like, I think these days it's silly if you don't have good design assets because it's so easy to make them. And I think you look like really unprofessional. So I would just go Replit and Lovable to kind of make stuff.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Like, and Lovable makes shit so beautiful. I'd use Canva for some marketing stuff and ChatGPT just for everything.
Yeah, the problem with Lovable though is that does make beautiful stuff if you give it the right prompts, but it all kind of looks the same. So I think there's going to be like a rush of like tech products that are like, oh, that's Lovable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's clearly Lovable.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to like it's probably just because what we're doing is we're raising the minimum bar of websites up to like a pretty fucking good website. So like it's definitely like less creative because it's it's built on averages. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, so I think they're the tools: an email, LinkedIn, Lovable, ChatGPT.
And then as you go through, you do want to get more complex, right? Like you need bookkeeping systems, and I love Xero and CRMs, like HubSpot, and like when you start building your own platform, you're going to want to use all the different, I don't know, like fucking AWS and I'm not a techer. The tech things. Like as you go through, you need all of a different set of tools. But I think really early stage, you just need those tools. I guess as far as resources go, I think like if I could just read only like a couple of books at the beginning to like set me up and I knew nothing, I'd read The Great CEO Within by Matt Mashari and Build by Tony Fadell. They're just, for me, like two of the best books I've ever read. But any like resources like that stand out for you?
And there's heaps. There's heaps.
And this podcast.
Yeah, okay. See, I love sales and marketing.
Yeah.
So like any like Zig Ziglar, all that kind of stuff. Fanatical prospecting.
Yeah.
Because that's my background, sales and marketing. Like, so I would say that.
Startup.
Pardon?
Such a good skill set coming into a startup.
Yeah, it's wild to see how many people. Like, I'm doing some mentoring with some other people, portfolio companies.
Yeah.
That I'm a part of. Well, there's an investor that has some portfolio companies, and it's wild how many of them are really, really good engineers, and they try to engineer their way out of a sales problem.
Yeah. And it's a tough one to engineer out of.
Very tough. Almost impossible.
Yeah. But some people have done it, but they're the exceptions.
Yeah. So you've got to have both. You've got to have that. You've got to have tech. Yeah. You've got to have operations, and you've got to have sales and marketing. They're the three pillars.
Yeah.
in a SaaS business or in a
sure.
technology company, for sure.
I only really think about SaaS in this. Like,
pardon?
I only ever think about SaaS for this podcast.
Okay.
It's all I know.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I would say Zig Ziglar. But there's so many things out there. Like there's so many podcasts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always loved the Masters of Scale podcast when I first started this business. So that was great.
There's too many to even remember. I'm just trying to think of them all. Like
there's a million of them.
But I was like all in one, and I was like, the only one was coming to me. I was like all in one, and I was like, yeah.
There's so much content out there. Matt Mashari is awesome though. Look at the Matt Mashari stuff. His stuff's fucking sick.
For sure.
Well, Kryptonite, you've been advice. It's all there. Lovable, Replit, ChatGPT, and a couple of books is all you need.
And an email.
And LinkedIn.
Google
Workspace, yeah.
Yeah, Google Workspace.
LinkedIn is the fucking best. I think people do not use LinkedIn well. A lot of people are just passive on LinkedIn. You can fucking reach almost anyone on LinkedIn. So if you have no network, just use LinkedIn and you can get there. Just ask people questions, like people are really responsive there compared to email reach out. So
when you say comment, and when you're asking people questions, you go comment on their posts, or you like just post a question?
No, I just you get 300 characters in a connection request. I just use that nonstop. Like I go through a phase where I'm sending 100 connection requests a week.
Really?
Yeah. I often do it like that.
But you're a great networker.
Yeah, but that's learned.
Yeah.
But I use this podcast as a networking tool. So I want to meet interesting people. I just use this podcast to meet interesting people. So I say, hey, I've got this podcast. I'd love to have you on it. And people always seem to say yes to podcasts. I've never had anyone ask me, how big's your podcast? Doesn't matter. People want to go on podcasts.
Yeah.
But even without that, I still just ask. Like, I think a really unique way to reach out to someone on LinkedIn isn't to say, hey, Jacob, can we have a coffee? It's just like, fuck no. Like,
that's how you reached out to me. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was like, no, I got an intro here. I would say like, hey, Jacob, like you're doing this cool thing. How would you apply voice to this industry? Like, do you think it would work? Because you could just be like, oh yeah, that's easy. I'd be way more likely to like reply to something real like that, which is quite a simple way.
Yeah.
If someone just
the thing is with LinkedIn though, I get slammed.
Yeah.
So I think it's to a point where I just go, I can't even read them. I'm like, there's like 20, like sometimes 20, 30 people, like, and I'm just like, and you got recruiters in there, and then all you need to do is hit a couple of recruiters, and then you're like, I'm not reading the rest.
I agree. LinkedIn's not 100%.
Yeah.
But I think the percentage conversion is way higher than email. And people
true.
No one reads emails, but people often, not all the time, read the connection request. Because most people send them without a connection request, and the ones that they do, they're super salesy nearly 100% of the time. So if you write something like that, like pops out straight away,
and specific,
it's just
to be fair, you're right.
It jumps out in my mind.
Yeah, I will. I do read the connection request messages pretty much every time.
Yeah,
and 90% of them are salesy. But if you do get a couple that reach out and they've actually looked at your profile and it's specific to what you do and who you are, then you've got a way higher chance than if it's an email.
Yeah, that's interesting. Ignore.
I can't remember what there was a point you raised about. Can't remember.
I just think LinkedIn is so super underused. People are so passive on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of businesses, you can get to your customers on there. And so I just reach out to people nonstop on LinkedIn. I think it's like a super interesting way to meet people. Depending on your business, right? If your business is all specifically based on concreters, like not a lot of concreters have LinkedIn profiles, so it's not going to be a good fit. Yeah. But if it's all about like education professionals or startup founders or bankers, they're all there. So it
can be a good tool for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just rate it.
That's how I raised the capital was LinkedIn. Like,
really?
You get like warm intros and stuff, but like. If I couldn't get the intros, then I just go like, you know what? Well, this is my last shot.
Yeah.
Like this is it. And it was like I made it super specific. And 9 times out of 10, I got a response.
Yeah.
Usually because I pitched like enough in there for them to pique their interest to get that meeting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it makes you concise, right? Because you've got 300 characters. So it's like you got to be like, fuck, how do I get this message across in a really simple way?
Really simple.
Email can be long. Like I need all this information. We can't send it on LinkedIn. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, mad. All right, Kryptonite, bonus advice for you. So, come to the last section of the show, which is plugs. So tell me, what's going on? What do you want to plug? Sophiie, and you can plug anything, right? Like a song you like or a book
I'll plug
you've read.
Sophiie.
Yeah, and so of course Sophiie. Of course Sophiie. I plugged Sophiie. I told you before we got. I plugged Sophiie like 10 times in the past week. Been showing.
Where? Just in the pub or like?
Just like whenever I've met someone who's just like, whenever I know their business is like taking like inbound calls for stuff, like so like different like business groups that you and I have been a part of together, or like just like when I met someone who's connected to someone else, I'm like tell them about Sophiie if I know it's a good fit, or my brothers are all tradespeople, so I'm like tell this to your fucking boss, like you'll love this and stuff like that. So
well, thank you, I appreciate it.
It just fits so many people.
It does, and that's a problem. That can be a problem too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you don't want to go too hot. You want to go vertical if you can. And I think the way that the AI tools are going, they're becoming more and more verticalized.
Yeah.
So the horizontal play can be dangerous.
Yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing in the background.
Yeah.
Like we have a pretty clear kind of way we believe we're going to go. We're just letting the data decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as you've got a clear plan, a pretty clear plan in the background, it's fine to go horizontal short term. So Sophie's an AI office manager designed to eliminate admin and grow revenue for service-based businesses. So anything from first inquiry, whether it be phone call, text message, email, through to final invoice, Sophiie sorts it all for you. So job management, scheduling, even things like soon to be posting to your social media for past jobs, things like that. Sophiie can handle it all for you.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. And I think that's the big difference I was saying before the show. Like, I think the reason we've done we're doing okay, we're doing well, is because we're not just that wedge. I mean, like you said, you can start as a wedge, but as long as you've got the vision to go to that deep integration into workflows and or into industries, I think that's the difference between. Like we're going to notice a lot more of that coming out and verticalized, where you're super niche, but really specific, that whole workflow, and that's workflow. And that's really the only way at the moment to kind of protect a business in the AI space. Well, in what we're doing anyway.
I think unless it's like part of the workflow, it's fun. And like fun fades. So you want it to be part of like a core workflow. And I think Sophie's done a fucking awesome job of that. Yeah. You guys aren't part of a workflow. You've become the entire workflow, which I love. And
the system, yeah. Because 50%, well, I think it's about 50% of service-based businesses. It was 35%, but it's changed in the last couple of years. It's got a bit more digitized. But 50% of service-based businesses in Australia today still don't have some form of digitization, which is wild to me. But so half the tradies and that kind of stuff out there don't have any digitization. They're still on pen and paper in 2025, which blows my mind. Yeah. But as the younger people are coming in, that's increasing. So we see Sophiie being the system and being the office manager to any task you need done, whether, hey, Sophiie, can you reschedule this, or can you send out an email to all the people who have installed fans to over the last 6 months and offer them this, or whatever it is you want to do, she'll be able to do for you pretty much instantly using voice. So that's the other thing.
And it's good voice. You know, I was playing around with the tool and I was just like, I was like a bit hesitant about where voice was at, and I was using a tool and I was like, what the fuck? It's so fast. And it's kind of Australian, which I loved as well. Like,
that's our global prompt. Yeah. And that's been a big thing for us as well. We acquired IP out of a startup in Melbourne, and that's allowed us to bring it in-house and build our own agent. So she does sound a lot more Australian, because if otherwise you could be using something in the States, and you can't change the global prompts, in those, well, in some of them, most of them. Yeah. So they sound American, even if they've got an Australian accent. Yeah. They still have that kind of American way about them.
Saying sir and man.
Yeah. Whereas Sophie's like, we can make her full bogan, or we can actually make her a little bit more professional.
Yeah. I love, man. Well, if you're in a trades service-based business, hit up Sophiie. But if you're not, just follow Jacob and Sophiie on LinkedIn, because the fucking journey they're on is insane. And like, I'm confident, if they're not already, they will be the fastest growing AI SaaS business in the country. So follow along, invest if you can. And that's it. So, man, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, this has been another episode of the Do As I Say podcast. We'll see you all next week.